Hello everyone, this is Fabio Wan and welcome to my pickups video for the late July, early August. Simply because instead of doing this video for July, um, surprisingly a lot of stuff I managed to get my hands on them towards the end of July and beginning of August, and it's quite more than usual. So I decided to make this video and including like the last part of July and these first almost 10 days of August. Like it's not a rule that this pickups video must be made for precise dates and only for 1 month. I mean, it's my video. I can do whatever I want. So as I said, I have quite a lot of stuff, much more than usual because my budget for video games and stuff, I try to keep it down since for obvious reasons. But I had a huge deal towards the mid-late July, and I decided to show it the main event a bit later. But we'll start with movies because obviously, as a huge movie collector and lover, I always buy movies during a month, and strangely enough, this time movies are the small part of the videos because uh, new movies that I pick up on July are just two actually. There's many others. I'm waiting for I think 5 or 6 more DVDs between movies and TV series, um, and they're not here yet, so I'll keep them for the August pickups. So let's start it with movies, and I have to be honest, I like these kind of movies, and the first one, I couldn't resist. I already saw this one, and it's the Warrior and the Sorceress. Eh, I like this B movie fantasy kind of stuff, like 80s crappy fantasy movies like Death Stalker. Wow, that is bad, but it's so much fun. These movies are so much fun to me. Death Stalker, Hawk the Slayer. Hawk the Slayer is a bit better. It's not that crappy. And of course, Warrior and the Sorceress. The reason why I bought this one is that it's because I am a huge fan of Akira Kurosawa's movies. Now, you may ask, what's the connection between Akira Kurosawa, one of the greatest director of all time, with crappy movies like this? The answer is easy. Among Kurosawa's movies, there's one called Yojimbo. Well, I was reading stuff about Yojimbo and just curious about it. I love that movie, and I know of its importance, naturally, since it was the inspiration for many other movies. One of them, for example, A Fistful of Dollar, just to name the most famous. And I read that this thing, The Warrior and the Sorceress, it's a tribute remake, was inspired by Yojimbo. So I couldn't resist. It was extremely cheap, of course. I mean, these kind of movies goes for like 0 point something pounds on Amazon, so it's not a problem. If it's bad and I don't like it, oh well, I lost 50p. So watch the movie. Basically, it is a sort of tribute to Yojimbo, but just the fantasy porn version of it. And with porn, it's just there are some nudity and stuff like that. Nothing um, really outrageous or anything like that. But it's so much fun, and um, basically the idea, because it is Yojimbo. I mean, you have the main guy, main protagonist, and it's. I have to say the name is cool. It's simply called the Dark One, and he's a sort of mercenary on this desert planet, and reaching this village with only one source of water. That it's the cause of fighting between two warlords, and it working for one and the other. It's Yojimbo, but again, the really crappy fantasy and softcore uh, porn version. I can say watch this movie. I mean, I like these kind of movies. It's a lot of fun, but it's kind of bad. But if you want to, it's really cheap. So the other one, and the last movie for this video, it's Alien Apocalypse with the king himself, Bruce Campbell, and I'm a huge Bruce Campbell fan, of course. He is one of my favorite actors, and I try to watch not all these movies, but especially those that I know that I'm going to like, and this is no exception. I cannot wait to see this. And just for the description, Army of Darkness meets Starship Troopers. Just let your imagination run wild. I mean, what is this? I'm very, very curious, and I know I'm gonna like it. I know it's gonna be crappy. It's just a Bruce Campbell B movie, so of course it's gonna be awesome. And that is it for movies. As I told you, just two for now, and the main event and the main important thing in this video are video games. Because, like, at mid-July, something like that, a good friend of mine moved from Italy here to London. So when he came here, he said we have to hang around. So um, we met for dinner and having a burger, having a good time, talking and everything. And all of a sudden, he said like, "Well, I know you like video games, especially like old games and stuff like that. You collect them. You collect video games. Okay, and go on. I like where this is going. Let's talk about video game." Because it's cool that this friend of mine apparently he seems not to be into video games if you look at him, but I know him. He's a big video game nerd actually in a way, and with him I had my most amazing video game session of my life when we beat Metal Gear Solid on PS1 in one setting. It was crazy and worth telling in the future, but it was amazing. So we were talking, and all of a sudden he said, "Well, I bought a PS4." Oh, that's cool. Yeah, interesting. But he said, "I don't know what to do with my PS3 since I'm not really into keeping all system, and I don't have enough space, enough place at my place, enough space at my place. Sorry about that. For all more than one console at a time. So if you want, I can give you my PS4 to you." I said, "Oh, nice." I was like, "Are you sure? I mean, you don't have to. Blah blah blah." "No, no, no, don't worry. I know you like this stuff. Take my PS3." And that was unbelievable because I was planning to buy a PS4. I was like saving money for this big acquisition. So thanks to him, I have a free PS3 with some games. But I don't want to sound horrible. But he said to me, "I know that you don't like this kind of games, so you can do whatever you want with them." And the games, the first one that I want to show you, it's the game. Well, it's what is this noise? It's terrible. The first game, it's Super Street Fighter 4, and we bought this game together before he gave me its PS3 because we wanted like a two-player game and have a lot of fun, and we didn't know this, but our idea is playing this game, even though it's a PS3 game, with PS4 graphics. We didn't know that the stupid PS4 is not compatible with PS3 games, and I was really surprised because that's so stupid for a console this like a new generation console not be compatible with PS3 games. That's so stupid, but my fault, my fault. I didn't know since I don't own a PS4. I didn't look for this kind of stuff. I thought it was obvious that a new generation console would have been like backward compatible. So Street Fighter 4, Super Street Fighter 4. I like the Street Fighter. I love the series. I love fighting games, and I was always curious of the new look of the Street Fighter 4 series. So this is a nice starting place, I think, for a fighting game. And the next three games that I have for PS3 are a result of of a trade that I made. Because the games that he gave me, and he told me, I was just want to say today, he told me, if you don't like it, you can do whatever you want, you can trade it, you can sell it, I don't care. The games that he gave me were FIFA 12, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, and Assassin's Creed 1 and 2. Now, these are three games that I will never going to play because I don't like sports game. I hate, I really don't like Assassin's Creed and Call of Duty games. So I was like, oh, I'm never going to play these games. Let's trade them. And I have to be honest, it might seem weird, but I never trade a game in a store actually before, because so far, because as a collector and as a video game buyer, I always buy games that I want to play, that I think I'm going to like it. So I never bought a sports game in my life, except for one on the Super Nintendo, but that's another story. So I never had a FIFA game. So I said, oh well, let's trade them so maybe I can make some cash to buy some other games. So I went to Game, which is the sort of a equivalent of GameStop here in the UK, and trade these things. Now, the value of this game really shocked me. I didn't expect to be this bad. Actually, I was suspecting for a sport game because it was like a 2 years old sport game. So, but I didn't expect to be so bad. Basically, when I gave to the guy this game, said, well, for this game, for FIFA 12, I can give you like 0 or 1 pence. I was like, wow. Now that's the value of sports games. So it's a, it almost doesn't make sense to you to give me this game. I don't keep it. I'm never going to play FIFA 12. So basically, what the hell is going on? Sorry about that. It's so noisy. Of course, now they're making a video. So when I gave him FIFA, it threw away in a bin. I mean, wow, that's the value of sports game. Then for Assassin's Creed 1 and 2 and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, I managed to gather £4. Probably it was like £3 for Call of Duty and £1 for Assassin's Creed. That's the value of these kind of games. Luckily enough, I managed to use this cash in a good way, and there were some interesting offers in second-hand games, and I managed to spend in total like £10 for 3 games. It was like 14 minus 4, since it was like a 3 per 2 with 3 games. The cheapest one was free. And the first one that I managed to buy for free, it's Fallout 3. Kind of old, I know, and I played this game on PC before, but I love this game very, very much, and I always wanted to play on PS3. I always wanted to see it on console. So I cannot wait to play this amazing, amazing game. To see the open world, the RPG first-person shooter, and its amazing story on PS3. I really can't wait, because playing on my crappy PC at home, it's probably not the same thing as playing on PS3. I know it's going to be better. Next, this game is kind of controversial. It's very like, people hate it, people love it. As a big RPG fan and a big fan of the series, I have to try it and see if I like it and play more game of this saga. And the game is Final Fantasy 13, of course. I heard very different opinion. As I say, people love it, people hate it. We'll see. I never played. I never saw videos, because I said I'm going to play this in the future when I'm going to buy my PS3. Now that I have it, of course, it has to be among the first game that I play. And I'm really curious about it, because I love Final Fantasy. So even though it's going to be a bit different, we'll see. Maybe it's going to be good. I don't know. Finally, when I was looking around second-hand games, there was one, like in the small, like in the left down corner on its own, surrounded by Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, sports game, GTA, and crap like that, and games like that. There was one copy of this game that really caught my attention, was very, very cheap, and say, what the hell, let's do it, let's buy it, because I heard so many good things about this game. Many fellow YouTubers hold this game in really high regards, and I say that, well, let's do it, let's try it among my earlier games. Nier by Squaresoft. Square Enix. Why Squaresoft? Nier. Anyways, I'm very curious about this game. Of course, never played, but people seems to think that this game is very good, and I'm very, very curious. I have to be honest. After hearing a lot of YouTubers talking about this game, I'm really curious. I really wanted to play it and see how it is, and I cannot wait to play this. So this is it for my PS3 games for now. The only thing I want to add is that yes, I have a PS3 now, but there is one problem. I don't have a television with me here at the moment, so I cannot play my PS3. That is ridiculous, I know, but we'll see what we can do. But at least I have the system, I have some games, a lot of fun in the future, I can see it. Next, we have, of course, some new PSP games. After I finished my first 3 games, Trace in the Sky, Is 7, and Third Birthday, I was looking for new games to increase my collection. And the first one that I bought, first 2 actually, but let's start with one at a time. It's a series that I absolutely love, and I want games for all consoles that I own of this series, and which is Castlevania, the Dracula X Chronicles. Of course, I have to buy the Castlevania game on the PSP, and this is the remake of the 2.5D remake of Rondo of Blood, one of the best games of the Castlevania series, by the way. And it's cool that in this, I didn't know it when I bought it, and it's cool to know now that this game also includes Rondo and Symphony of the Night. 3 for 1, that's very cool. And I tried a couple of days ago. It's nice, and I can't wait to play it more because I'm quite busy with other 2 games at the moment with my PSP. That's the reason why I haven't made any new discussion video. I haven't finished any new game. I'm completely lost in 2 games, and the first is Breath of Fire 3. What can I even say about this game? It's one of my favorite games of all time, and I was always like, when I buy the PSP, it's going to be one of the first games that I want to have. There it is. Started to play it, I'm 25, between 25, 27 hours, I don't remember now. I have to go to the new world, and I love this game so much. I played on the PS1 already, not all of it. I haven't finished this game yet, by the way, on the PS1, because I didn't own it back then. Now that I have it, I don't have my PS1 with me. Long story short, I'm probably going to finish on the PSP first. But I love this game so much. As I said, it's one of my favorite of all time, and the idea of having this on the go, wow. But this is so good. Everyone who loves RPG must play and love this one. I love Breath of Fire 3. Next, I'm getting very curious about one series in particular, and it's one of the next games that I'm going to buy on the PS3 when I manage to play some of these. So I don't know when, but it's Tales of Eternia. I'm getting curious about the Tales of series, and I think this is a remake or something like that of a PS1 game. Not sure, but I think so. And I'm curious about it. I'm curious about the Tales of series. Many of these games were not released in the West, or at least in Europe, for what I know. And I cannot wait to play Tales of Xillia on the PS3 in the future. But for now, this is my next game. But the problem is, I wanted to play this, but I started to play Breath of Fire 3 and this other game. That it's the one I play right now in this moment, and it's taking all my gaming time. And the game is Legend of Heroes: Prophecy of the Moonlight Witch, the first game of the Gagar trilogy, the one that precedes Trails in the Sky. I'm going to make a full discussion on this game when I finish it, because I think I'm pretty close to the end. I'm at chapter 6 or something out of 7 or something. I don't remember if it's like 8 chapter or 7 chapters. So I'm the second to last chapter. And originally this was a Sega Saturn game, released only in Japan. Then there were other versions of it. Finally on the PSP, published by Namco Bandai, we're able to enjoy this. This is a great game, but I'm going to talk about this more in a discussion video in the close future. But I really wanted to play the Gaga trilogy, so I probably know what following games are going to be. And this is it for games. Finally, a lot of stuff, much more than usual, but there's still one item. So last but certainly not least, and I couldn't believe that this item is so good. I was expecting something much smaller, and when I saw this big beast, I was like, wow, certainly didn't expect this. And it's Darkstalkers, the official complete works, the art book, a new art book of the Darkstalkers series. Actually, this is my favorite fighting game series. I'm a huge Darkstalker fan, and having an art book that covers all the games and everything else in the Darkstalkers universe, even cameo of characters in other Capcom games, or Capcom versus something, it's just great. And the art in this, it's fantastic. I mean, it's simply gorgeous. And it's one of the things that really caught my attention at the first time I saw the Darkstalkers game on PS1 back in the days. It's the gorgeous art, the really interesting characters, the really cool setting, and I love these games very much. I'm a big fan of the Darkstalkers series. Of course, I'm planning to buy more Darkstalkers games, but also something that I really want is art books focusing on this series, because as I said, I love the art and I love the characters, and this is very cool. Maybe I'm going to do a discussion in the future, I don't know, we'll see, but it's so cool having this. Just looking for, of course, it's distracting, so cool. Just want to show my favorite character of the series, Isenko. I love her, she's awesome. I was really good back in the days playing as Isenko. So with, oh, Felicia, oh, that's nice. So with this awesome Darkstalkers art book, that's it. So movies, games, art book, very cool stuff. This video is going to be longer than I expected, but for once, managed to get more stuff than usual, and very happy. The PS3 was a really big but nice surprise, and still. Thank you. You know who you are, so thank you for this really awesome surprise. It was more than welcome. So, guys, this is it for my mid-July and the first beginning of August pickups. More video are coming, and just have to finish a game and waiting for some items. Like always, thanks for watching and take care.